Harry became a millionaire on a salary that never once crossed $39,000 a year. I know exactly how that sounds. It sounds like a lie. It sounds like the kind of clickbait title that makes you roll your eyes and scroll past because you know the math of the real world. You know that rent is $1,400. You know that groceries have doubled in price. You know that saving 10% of a $39,000 salary leaves you with almost nothing after 50 years. If you were doing the math the traditional way, you are absolutely right. It is impossible. But Harry did not follow the traditional math. He did not win the lottery. He did not inherit a trust fund from a wealthy uncle, and he did not get lucky with a random crypto coin that went to the moon. The turning point for him was one boring, rainy month where his bank balance looked terrible, but his calendar, his skill set, and his environment completely changed. 12 months later, his income did not just grow, it multiplied. By the time this video ends, you will know the exact system he used, step by step, so you can start your own millionaire path, even if this month your paycheck barely covers rent. Here's the truth nobody tells you when you feel stuck on a low salary. We are trained to believe that millionaires are all doctors, tech founders, or high-level executives with giant paychecks. But Thomas Stanley, in his famous study, The Millionaire Next Door, found that a massive number of real millionaires had very average incomes. They didn't have a giant shovel to dig for gold. They just dug in a different spot. The gap between low salary and millionaire is not magic. It is a skill path combined with a math path. So let's meet Harry. Harry stacks boxes and runs the register at a discount home goods store. He's 31 years old. It's honest work, but the pay is capped. After federal taxes, state taxes, and tiny benefits are stripped out, his take-home pay is exactly $2,287 a month. Let's look at his reality. $794 goes to a small apartment he shares with a cousin. $219 goes to an old car loan for a vehicle that makes a weird noise every time he starts it. Around $400 vanishes on food, mostly grab-and-go stuff because he's usually too tired to cook. By the 24th of the month, his checking account usually has less than $90 in it. He watches finance videos. He's tried strict budgets that lasted about 11 days before he broke. Every month feels like a loop. Payday, a few treats, random purchases, and then the slow panic that sets in during the last week. If that feels familiar, stay with Harry because his first big shift did not require a raise from his boss at the store. It required a raise in his strategy. The first step was picking a millionaire skill, not a millionaire fantasy. Harry kept daydreaming about being rich without picking how he would get there. One night, he typed occupations of millionaires into Google. He saw the usual list: business owners, real estate agents, lawyers, engineers, specialized salespeople, content creators, consultants. At first, it felt depressing. He was not going back to school for 7 years to become a lawyer, he did not love math enough to be an engineer, and he certainly didn't have the credit score to buy real estate. So he did something different. He drew a grid in his notebook. On the left side, he listed those occupations. Across the top, he wrote 3 columns: interest, knowledge, and can I start cheap? He scored each from 1 to 5. Real estate got a 3 for interest, but a 1 for knowledge, and a 4 for start cost because you need down payments. Software engineering got a 2 for interest and a 1 for knowledge. Then he looked at freelance writing and simple online marketing. He gave it a 4 for interest, he gave it a 3 for knowledge because he already wrote the product blurbs for the store signs, and he gave it a 1 for start cost because he only needed a laptop and internet. When he finished, one thing was obvious. On a low salary, he could not pick a path that required huge upfront money or long school years. He needed something with low startup costs that rewarded skill, not degrees. Copywriting and basic marketing won. That night, he said out loud to his empty apartment, "I am going to become $1 million copywriter starting on this salary. Not today, not this year, but that was the lane." You need that same decision. Not, "I want to be rich," but "this is the skill I will become great at, even if today you are terrible at it." The second step was to stop letting broke thinking fill his ears. Harry's friends were good people, but they lived in permanent survival mode. When he told them he wanted to make money writing online, they laughed. One said, "Who would pay you for words when there's free stuff everywhere?" Another said, "Be realistic. We work retail. Your energy is finite." If every conversation ends with someone rolling their eyes at your goals, your belief leaks away week after week. It's basic physics. You cannot build a fire if people keep pouring water on it. One Friday night, Harry was excited, talking about a marketing podcast he had discovered. His friends changed the subject back to old high school stories and drama about people they hadn't seen in years. On the bus home, he realized something painful. He knew more about their past drama than about his own future. He did not formally dump anyone. He just stopped being available for every hangout. He muted group chats where every message was a complaint. He decided low salary was hard enough. He could not also carry low expectations from everyone around him. You are not cutting people out because you're better than them. You are protecting the tiny flame of belief you need to climb out of the hole. The third step was to replace those broke friends with rich teachers. And I don't mean rich like private jets and yachts. I mean rich like people who have already walked the path you want to walk. Harry picked 10 people who had built careers in writing and online offers. He wrote their names in his notebook, he followed them on social platforms, he subscribed to their channels, he hunted down their interviews. He bought a used copy of a copywriting book for $7 and some change. If you want to build wealth through design, pick 10 designers who turned freelancing into a business. If you want real estate, pick 10 investors who started with little cash. Make your own top 10 list. Harry asked himself a hard question every morning. If I met my heroes today, would they be interested in the current version of me? The honest answer was no. He had not built anything yet. That answer stung, but it gave him a target. Every podcast he listened to, every page he read, he pictured those 10 people and asked, would this make me more interesting and useful to them? Step 4 was to steal back his time, like his future depended on it. Harry used to finish his shift at 5, scroll for an hour, play games, binge random videos, then complain about being tired and broke. His paychecks reflected his habits: low focus, low skill growth, low money. He did not become a machine overnight, he just stole back 90 minutes a day. On workdays, the first 45 minutes after his shift became learning time. He listened to podcasts on the bus. He took notes at the kitchen table before turning on the TV. On Saturdays, he set a timer and gave himself 2 focused hours to practice writing simple ads that any business might use. Morgan Housel, in The Psychology of Money, explains how small, repeated decisions compound more than rare big ones. Harry treated his low salary as fuel, not a prison. He said, "If I do not have more dollars yet, I must stack more skills." Ask yourself tonight, how many minutes did you give to your future, and how many to endless scrolling? Step 5 is where most low-salary people either stay stuck or break through. You must invest before you feel ready. You must invest some money before it feels safe. Not on luxury events, but on real skills and real access. Harry had never paid more than $30 for education in his life. Then he saw an online copywriting course taught by one of his top 10 teachers. The price was $389. His stomach dropped. That was more than a week of rent. That was his food budget for the month. The easy thought was, I can probably learn this for free. The useful thought was, if I pay, I will treat this differently. He checked his bank account, $612 left for the month. After rent and minimums, it would be tight. He called the course support line and asked for a payment plan. They split it into 3 payments of $130. He pressed buy. The second he did, his brain switched from "this is a hobby" to "this is my trade." Grant Cardone likes to say, if you do not invest time and money, you will never have time and money. Harry felt that every time his statement came. It hurt just enough to keep him focused, but not enough to break him. Step 6 was to get into rooms where salary doesn't matter, but value does. 3 months into serious learning, Harry found a small local meetup for online creators. The ticket price was $67. They had a group chat for attendees. Instead of showing up hoping for luck, he set a 3-month challenge tied to the event date. By the time he walked into that room, he wanted 3 things. First, a simple 1-page website explaining who he was and what he offered. Second, 3 sample projects he could show on his phone. Third, at least 1 small client, even if the pay was modest. He used the group chat to see who would be there. He checked each speaker online. He read their posts. He took notes. By the time he arrived, he didn't feel like the retail guy sneaking in. He felt like a beginner copywriter with proof of work. He landed his second client there because he could say, I wrote this for a local cafe last month and it increased their email signups. Your room might be a virtual mastermind, an online conference, or a local association meeting. The point is not the brand name. The point is you commit first, then build yourself up to be worth meeting. Step 7 is the one that scares everyone. Learn to sell or stay underpaid forever. Every rich path runs through one door. You must persuade humans, bosses, clients, partners, investors, future team members. Harry hated the word sales. He pictured pushy people in suits trying to trick grandmas. Then he read Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. The main idea hit him hard. You must be sold on yourself and your offer first, or every conversation feels like begging. So he practiced. He wrote 1 clear sentence about what he did. I help small local businesses turn boring product descriptions into clear words that bring in more customers, starting with 1 test project. He said it out loud until it stopped sounding fake. Then he practiced asking for money without shaking. For this first project, my fee is $119 and I will deliver 3 versions by next Thursday. Sales stopped feeling like tricking people. It became listening, understanding their problem, then offering a real solution. If you stay on a low salary your whole life, one big reason will be this: you never learned to sell your time, your ideas, or your value beyond what a manager offered. Step 8 is to set your millionaire math so the dream stops being fog. At first, millionaire sounded magical to Harry. Then he wrote it down, $1 million. If you earned $1 million in a single year, that would be about $2,740 a day. That sounded unreal, so he changed the time frame. Instead of $1 million this year, he thought about $1 million in 10 to 12 years. That meant averaging roughly $83,000 a year for 12 years, or much less if he invested steadily and let compounding work. He ran smaller numbers he could feel. What would it take to earn an extra $1,000 a month from writing? If he charged $250 per project, that was 4 clients a month, 1 project each week. 4 did not sound impossible. 4 sounded like real people. Your millionaire math starts the same way. Write the big number once, then break it into monthly and weekly targets that match your path. Maybe you sell a $500 service. Maybe you make $15 profit on a product. Maybe you earn recurring commissions. Keep going until you can say, if I do this many of these things each week, over this many years and invest at least this much, I will cross 7 figures. The richest man in Babylon teaches that part of all you earn is yours to keep. Harry added, "Part of all I earn and part of all my free time must be mine to grow my skill." Every time he got a small raise at the store, he refused to upgrade his lifestyle. Instead, he opened a separate online savings account and moved odd amounts into it linked to his new income. Every time he got paid for writing, 10% went into that account. Some went to paying down his course debt faster, and the rest stayed for life expenses. Within 11 months, that account held over $1,400. His copywriting income that month was $933 on top of his store salary. For the first time, he saw money growing that did not belong to bills. Step 9 is the hardest discipline. Act broke on purpose while your life upgrades in the background. Harry's first instinct when his writing income picked up was to celebrate. He almost signed a lease on a bigger apartment. He almost upgraded his car. Instead, he did something uncomfortable. He opened his banking app. Then he opened the picture on his phone of his dream life. A small, bright office, a calendar full of client calls, savings numbers on a sticky note. He flipped between them. Reality, vision. Reality, vision. He told himself, "I am still broke compared to where I am going. My net worth is tiny compared to my potential, so I cannot start thinking like a rich man yet." This is not about hating where you are, it's about remembering what you are building so you don't blow early progress on temporary treats. You are not just a person on low pay, you are an apprentice investor in your own skill. You are an intentional picker of friends and teachers. You are someone who trades some comfort now for freedom later. You are a beginner salesperson for your own value. You are the kind of person who knows their millionaire math instead of guessing. Harry did not win the lottery. He did not jump from retail to a mansion overnight. He went from $2,287 a month of trapped salary to stacking a skill that brought in a few hundred, then 1,000, then more, while treating that extra money like seed, not confetti. Your path will look different. Your skill, your timeline, your numbers will be your own, but the pattern is the same. Pick a skill, protect your belief, choose better teachers, study relentlessly, invest before you feel ready, get in rooms, learn to sell, set your math, act. Thanks for watching. If you want to see exactly how Harry broke down the pricing for his first service to get that first client, make sure you subscribe because in the next video we're going to role play that exact sales conversation. I'll see you there.